Welcome to Shapers Voices, the Sopra Steria podcast that gives a voice to our colleagues across the world. I'm your host, Okkebone, and today, in this very first episode of this series, In the Mind of an Expert, we will dive deeper into the world of Java with Maarten Casteels from Sopra Steria Belgium. Maarten, you're a Java expert, but you're also podcasting about it, so I have actually high expectations about this episode.
Thank you very much.
So let's dive in with a very simple first question. Who are you?
So my name is Maarten Casteels. I'm a Java expert. Thank you for that. I'm also a Java architect for design and develop the business line in Sopra Steria Belgium. And besides that, I'm also a people manager. Indeed, I do a co-host with three other colleagues, Jcast. That's a podcast about Java, and everything else is the playground where we used to be working in, for example, AI, cloud, or something else.
Great. Yeah, we will talk about the podcast later on as well. So I'm very curious about all the aspects you already mentioned, and it's good. I already know a bit about what you do at Sopra Steria. So I'm actually because you say you're a Java expert, you're architect, you're people manager. So can you share a bit about your journey going from Java expert to software architect to people manager? How did you get there? Was it a natural move? What can you say about it?
It's a large question, okay? But indeed, I will try to walk through it. So I started as a Java developer, and so I think as most of us in a software development lifecycle will start somewhere as just a developer. And then I joined Sopra Steria already, I think, 9 years ago at the client of Belfius. And I met my colleagues over there, Yannick de Turk in this case, who was at that moment in time one of the competence leads for Java. So he introduced me a little bit more in the whole Sopra Steria journey. And I started teaching over there. And because I was teaching a lot, I made some kind of a move to indeed more architecture and experting in my recommended field of Java in this case. And then later on, it's a good question how I became a people manager in this case. But I'm also, how do you say it correctly? I will think about it. When I was working at Belfius, I was teaching as well. I was more involved at the Sopra Steria at that moment in time. I saw a lot of people mentoring, coaching, and then I think it was more a fluid way to becoming a people manager in that kind of story.
Yeah, okay. So it was really a natural move. Yeah. You felt like you were ready with all the expertise you had, all the knowledge you had on Java. Okay. So in your current role, or roles, I must say, what is it that you really enjoy about the job? So maybe talk about both being a Java expert, but also really the people part, people manager, because it's a role that is on top of your expertise in Java. So I can imagine that you enjoy different things in both roles.
Indeed, I love the technical part of my job, the day-to-day job, I will say, and the other part is I'm love to work with people. That's maybe also what a little bit of my background as a youth worker, where I still enjoy going on camps with children, try to teach or learn how to act with children, to more teenagers in that case. So the people aspect is really important for me, and you see people grow, you see people shine, and if people shine, then we have some kind of a good connection, and you see what people can do. So that's more how I feel about it. Java for me, it's my homecoming, I would say. It's always about Java. If I do something at home, it's also Java programming, seeing how things work, and that's the technical part.
Yeah, it's cool that even after 9 years, you still, or maybe you have been working...
More years, indeed. I'm always in the field for 13, 14 years already.
Even if after this many years, you're still so passionate about a coding language.
Yeah.
that must be, like, we will jump into that a bit later on. I'm very curious what exactly you like about Java. But I still would like to also know from you, so you say you love working with people. I can imagine that becoming and being a people manager, it improved your people skills. Do you feel also that it has a positive impact on your role as a Java expert? Do you feel like things you learn as a people manager that you can use it in a positive way also as a Java expert or software architect?
Yeah, indeed. It's lovely to talk about that as well. If you work with people a lot of time, and also as a people manager, you learn some certain skill sets. For example, how to active listen, for example, because everybody listens, but do we really active listen? That's something differently. You learn that one as a people manager. So if you're on a team with a lot of other developers, you really can understand what's frustrating them and try to explain that one and translate that frustration sometimes, or just the happiness, translate it to business people and say, okay, good, what we are doing over here, that's really great. They love it. They feel empowered. That kind of a thing you don't learn if as a Java developer. You really learn that one as a people manager, or just being working with or on those kind of skills.
Yeah, I can imagine. So you talk about active listening. Is there another skill that you acquired during your entire journey that maybe surprised you a bit, or that you thought you were not, well, you're not, it was not your best skill, but you found out that actually you are good at it?
I always think I'm not the best coder, I will say. I also found out that I'm not always the best. I don't have the best structure in wording or going over things, and that helps me then in that case to explain it more and guiding than really doing the job, I will say. But nevertheless, I still love it. Empathy, apparently, I do have it. Most of the time I thought I don't have empathy, but yeah, okay, good. You need to have it, because otherwise you can't work with people.
Yeah, but it's an important skill. I can imagine maybe also in your personal life you can benefit from it.
I benefit a lot of times. I have 2 children at home, so indeed, also there you need to have a lot of patience as well.
Yeah.
Also that I learned and acquired during my people managers years already. But yeah, it's not always easy. I will say that.
No, I can imagine. Working with people is never easy.
No, everyone has his own small things that we need to recognize and to work on. So,
but I think that also makes that you're always learning. You keep on learning. You always work with different people. Everyone has their own specific like values, specific needs. Okay, very interesting. Maybe to close this part about being a people manager, imagine you're talking with someone that in the future aspires to be a people manager, working with people. What would be your advice, maybe specifically in a tech environment?
In a tech environment, it's really important to know that most of our developers are more shy. So don't rush in connecting to them. Let them be, listen really carefully, and take the notion that they don't mention during their talks.
Yeah.
Because people do have body language. Try that body language and learn how to read that one instead of the only the vocal parts.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that that's a very valuable advice. Thank you for that, Maarten. You briefly mentioned that you were active or still are active in youth work. I think this is great. So you already said very briefly what you do. Can you share some more about that? And maybe most importantly, how this experience impacts your work professionally, also maybe personally?
All right. So I'm active as a youth worker. So I try every year I do one camp, I will say, where a lot of teenagers come visit us. We teach them how to work and how to help children during their vacation at that moment in time. That's really important for me, just because I do care about how children go on youth camps. For our organization where I'm active in, it's also we take also children with some difficulties with us.
Some backpacks.
Some backpacks, indeed. And for us, it's really important that they still can do that. And if we don't have enough youth workers, then it will be difficult. So for me, it's really also giving back what I received in the previous years.
Yeah, that's nice.
How it impacts on my personal life? Well, because I feel passionate about it and I feel it's important, I will still be doing it, even though we have 2 children at home. We take them with us. They will encounter it. They will have they will drink the soup like that as well.
Yeah.
They will need to do it.
Yeah.
Even though they maybe don't want to do it, but we will see. If they don't want to do it, they don't need to do it.
Okay.
But it's me and my wife as well, so
she's also you're doing it together.
We're doing it together,
nice.
indeed. Yeah.
Okay. So you actually have 2 jobs. I don't know if I can call the youth work a job, but
it's a passion.
It's completely different.
It's completely different, absolutely.
I can imagine you take a lesson that you learn in one part, you bring it to the other one.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So at youth work we also have trainings. We go on 3 weekends a year with the whole group. We have 2 times that we try to have some kind of a trainee, a session. And if that session can be impactful also for my work, I take it with me.
Yeah.
I take some presentations. I will give a small talk to other people managers as well about what the topics that I learned. So yeah, indeed, it's a win-win situation at the moment.
That's good. That's always good to have a win-win. Okay, nice. And the fact that you're doing it with your wife, I think it's also
it's wonderful.
Balance. Okay, good. Nice to hear. It's a good story. Good. So we talked about the people management part. We talked about youth work, and now you already shared it. Your big passion, Java. So So this episode is part of the series In the Mind of an Expert. So I would like to really also dive deeper into Java because I'm not an expert at all. I know it's a coding language. I know it's been around for a very long time.
30 years this year, really.
Okay,
so
it's really
it's 30 years of Java this year. It's the birthday of Java.
Okay.
It's 30 years
already. Cool. And when did your passion start? Was it before you started working, or?
For me, the Java part is really started in high school. So.
Okay.
I don't know when it was, 2018, aroundish, 2008. So indeed, it's passionable because it's a wonderful language. It's open source. That's for me is really important. I did a lot of other programming languages before, but Java for me it's homecoming. I really say that. There are a lot of libraries. There are a lot of cool people around that teach me, that inspires me. So Java it's indeed a coding language, and you could say, okay, good. What about C#? What about PHP, Python?
Exactly. That was my next question. Why is it better?
Why it's better? Yeah, it's on almost every machine. So if you have a coffee machine standing somewhere, probably it runs Java.
Okay.
Even on those kinds of things, Java is running.
It's everywhere. And it's not the case for the other coding languages.
It depends, of course, but no, most of the time not. No.
Okay.
So if you have an Android phone, it's Java behind the scenes. On most of coffee machines, the most of the IoT parts right now are more going into the Python, all that other languages, but most of it.
Okay.
It's really on Java.
So you really swear to Java, or you secretly also sometimes use another coding language?
I need to use TypeScript times to times for front-end development. That's not Java's strongest point, I will say. It's more for backend, real enterprise applications, I will say. We still use it over there. On smaller applications, sometimes, okay, good, we're gonna move to Go or to other languages. But if I need to choose, it will be always Java.
Okay, good to know. And what is then, if you have to say really one thing that makes Java the best, I would like to know from you, Maarten, what is it?
It's 30 years, it's open source, and everyone can learn it easily.
Okay. That's and it's not the case for the others then?
Oh, so you say... It's of course, it's the same for the other ones.
Okay.
You asked me, so I will give you something.
Okay, so you think that I can also learn it without any technical background?
Everyone can learn a programming language. I'm really sure about it. The cool thing by Java is there are a lot of tutorials out there, and also with the upcomes of AI, we also have the possibility to learn even quicker. We have a lot of Java champions that we are elected in some kind of a way they contributed to Java itself. We have a lot of them also in Belgium. Also in France there are a lot of Java champions. So it's just easy to come by and.
Okay, and 30 years, that's already, well, it's longer than I exist. How do you see it evolve? Like, do you think it will celebrate in 20 years? At 50th birthday, or will there be too strong of a competitor?
I don't think so. The thing is, Java, if you look at Java, currently we have a release cycle of each 6 months there is a new Java version. And so this year also we have the 25th version of Java coming out. So that's also a thing. What we see at the moment is that our language is evolving rather quickly. I will say we have a lot of new features every 6 months in this case. So at some point it almost felt dead, but we skipped that part and we elaborate on that one at the moment. So it will eventually go 50 years and 60 years and beyond because it runs on too many devices. And maybe one particular point, because you asked me before, but I forgot to mention that one, is Java itself, if the oldest version of Java will still run today.
Okay.
So something that's programmed in Java 1 still runs on Java 25. Okay. And that's not always the case for every programming language.
So that's unique.
That's more unique, yeah.
Okay, and you said it evolves sometimes so quickly, like every 6 months you have new feature. I guess that's what makes it interesting. You keep on learning new things, even if it's the same coding language.
Yeah, indeed, absolutely. And what's also cool on that part is because it's every 6 months, not all companies can evolve that quickly. But with the upcomes of all the tools that are really relying on Java, we can push really on, hey guys, we need to move forward and we need to grab on the next version.
Okay.
So also that is something that we are doing right now.
Good to know. You know, maybe one day I will also make myself a bit more like I will.
Techie.
Yeah, a bit more techie in Java then.
In Java.
After your speech. Okay, so 12 years at Sopra Steria.
Almost 12 years, yeah.
12 years at Sopra Steria. That's quite a long time. So I can imagine that you worked on a lot of different projects already with different clients. Maybe it's not the case. Maybe you've been working on the same client forever. But throughout the entire journey at Sopra Steria, is there a project that really made a lasting impact on you? Or that you really feel had a big societal impact? Something maybe that you're still working on today, but can also be something from the past.
What for me was joining Belfius. It's a Belgian bank in this case. Not really saying, okay, good, it's most impactful, but it was a moment that I came into contact with Sopra Steria for the first time, and where I felt I more belonged to.
Okay.
So I worked there for another company, then moved to Sopra Steria at that point in time, still on the same team, and I felt connected on that part. It was a back office application. It was fully on Java. It was with at that moment in time the latest versions of Java, so it's not the case anymore, I think, and the latest frameworks that we can use. But that made a big impact for me, just to learn how Sopra Steria works and what it's all about. That made it impactful for me.
Okay, so it's not really what the project itself does for people.
No.
Okay, it's more what it did for you, but that's good.
I think that's the most important part.
Yeah.
And that's also why I'm sitting over here as well, I think.
Okay, and you're still working on it now?
No.
Okay.
I switched a couple of years ago, already, and then I moved to another industry. That was not my cup of tea, I will say. But that's not always. It was about managing warehouses. That was not my real cup of tea. I didn't belong there, and now I'm more working on government projects, and that's also it's impactful also for people around me.
Yeah,
and that's what's also is really important for me.
Yeah. And it's always been Java then. So
Always been Java.
Of course, I already knew the answer.
But you can ask a question indeed.
Okay, cool. Good to know. So when you see Belfies in the streets, you're like, huh?
I work there.
I contributed to
Indeed.
whatever they're doing. Okay,
Indeed,
that's
indeed.
cool. That's cool. That's
an-
cool if you can do it. If you can.
I've also another. It wasn't in that point in time for Sopra Steria, but also for the how do you say it? I worked for the trains in Belgium, so the NMBS and SNCB, and there I worked on the Mobip card.
Yeah.
That was if I need to mention something, that was the most important part.
Yeah. Okay, because it really had an impact
It
on
has
the
an impact.
citizens.
Yeah,
yeah.
indeed, yeah. And
Because of that, they can easily buy a subscription or what?
yeah,
Is, okay.
it was for the abonnement.
Yeah,
so
subscription, yeah.
subscriptions indeed for the.
Okay. Yeah. See, so it's cool that you have projects that have an impact on you, and you have projects that have an impact on society.
And that's why I'm working more more for the governments at this moment.
Yeah.
Because it's also impactful for people around.
Yeah. See so Sopra Steria is actually everywhere.
Indeed.
It's cool. Okay. Very nice. I would like to go back to what you said in your introduction.
Okay.
You already mentioned it there that you are a co-creator of JCast, your own podcast. So we're doing one now, first episode, but you've already had some experience in podcasting. So I would like to know what made you launch this podcast. Where did the idea come from? How did it really? Was it a night in a bar that you were talking with colleagues, or was it really from I don't know.
Well, it's it's a little bit a mix of everything.
Okay.
So I had already a long idea of starting my own podcast, but I wasn't not always sure about should it be a video podcast, should it just be an audio podcast, what should it all be about? And then two colleagues of mine were talking to each other a long time, and they wanted to launch a podcast, and they were searching for a third person to really kick off. And they came to me by accident, I will say, because I'm also a little bit their people manager as well. So they thought maybe Maarten would be interested in something like that, or he knows people that's. And I mentioned, okay, good, but I wanted to do a podcast a really long time, so let's do it. And we just started.
Great.
They already had a name for it. It was JCast, and then we tried to figure out, okay, good, but what should it be? And then we said, okay, good, if you call it JCast, because J for Java and cast them for podcast.
Of course, it's about Java. Of course.
Of course. So. And then we mentioned, okay, good, let's take it that way. So we start with the Java part, and then everything else will be the playground of, okay, good, where do we see Java is coming, or what, or do we see other things laying around? And I think we released already 4 episodes right now, but it's in Dutch. So take that into consideration. If you search for JCast, it will be in Dutch.
Maybe it's an aspiration of you to one day have it in English. To have international guests, like colleagues working on Java in other Sopra Steria countries could be invited as well.
Indeed. But at this moment in time, everyone is more comfortable in Dutch. I'd say, okay, good, let's do it in Dutch. But maybe one of the seasons we will start maybe moving to in English, or launching a second one. Yeah, cool. Just in English.
And what for you is the goal? What do you want to achieve? It's
for me, it's just a place where I can rant about it.
Okay.
Rant about everything. I will say it's in parentheses, of course, but it's just a place for me to express myself about a language, about a book, about. In this case, I think we had a talk with someone of UX UI just to see, okay, good, but what does it mean for everyone? And that's what that place is needed for me as well, to just see how I can evolve. Yeah. Because Java is there, but everything else is also there, and we should make sure that I have some kind of a place where I can express myself and my other beliefs as well.
So it's both about sharing experiences on Java, maybe like talking about new features. It's a mix of
it's a mix of everything.
Okay.
It's really, in Dutch we say a praatbarak. So it's just a place where we talk about a lot of everything, and it doesn't always connect the dots directly.
Yeah.
So,
but always linked to Java.
Always linked to Java.
I keep that in mind. Okay. I don't know if you would like to share a last message on anything we talked about today. A last message that you feel people should hear. It can be about joining Sopra Steria. It can be about being a Java expert. It can be about someone who wants to launch a podcast. Any last message, Maarten?
A last message. A last message would be it's wonderful to work at Sopra Steria. You can do a lot over here. There are a lot of possibilities. So if you want to join us, please do. And it's wonderful. And if you want to start a podcast, just find some good buddies and do it. Just do it.
Great. That's good advice. And then I have one last question for you.
Okay.
It's a fun one to end this episode with. So we talked about JCasts. For now, you only invited colleagues from Sopra Steria. But imagine if you could invite anyone in the world, living, not living. Who would you invite and why?
So I think I would like to invite Josh Long. He's a Java. He's a Java champion first and foremost. He's also having a podcast at this moment that calls Beautiful Podcast.
Okay.
It's a place where he talks to he does interviews. He also do live coding on YouTube as well on that podcast. Additionally, besides that, he's also conference speaker, and I always love that one. And Josh Long is really how do you say it? He's all over the place. He's going crazy, and that's a little bit what I like about him. He's doing crazy stuff. And he's helping really the Java community forward.
Okay. I don't know him, but I will for sure look him up. So thank you, Maarten. That was the end. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for your openness, for sharing your journey, your insights, your love for Java with us. And I wish you all the best in your life at Sopra Steria, but obviously also beyond and outside of Sopra Steria.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me over here.
Thank you. If you want to know more about Sopra Steria, make sure to check out our career website or follow us on social media.